What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we are looking at Wall Street Bets. Once again, AMC, of course that's a stock you've been hearing a lot about, like GME, short squeeze, fun kind of stuff. Wanted to show a quick example of how not everyone makes money, especially depending on when you buy these calls, because it's very, very difficult to catch this timing. And when you buy very short dated calls, that theta decay, if you just buy a straight call that's expiring this Friday or even next week or the following week, that theta decay will kick in so fast. And you can really see that here on this previous, this was posted about 17 hours ago, so before the trading day today, to kind of want to create somewhat of a summary to kind of see on what really could have happened. You see this individual has a value about $120,000 worth of these contracts. He's down nearly 95K at this point. So basically he had about $220-ish thousand dollars, $215,000 in this AMC potentially position. You can see a smorgasbord of different various calls. You can see here, if we zoom in here, we see $45 call. Okay, we have the 55, we have the 50 call, we have the 73, we have the 65 call, and it looks like the $60 call. So he has a boatload of out of the money calls potentially on, I'm not sure when he bought them. It doesn't go into the greatest detail. Most likely bought them a little bit out of a higher price. Of course, once we kind of jump into the chart, you can kind of see how things worked out. I got to give him kudos, a big thumbs up. Everyone give him a high five. We have he's fully charged and he's on LTE network. So good thumbs for that. We'll see on how the overall market looks for this one. Again, not without knowing when this individual got in and out of this trade. Potentially, he could have gotten out with a pretty substantial loss here at these calls. So we're going to move these calls to the side over here, and we're going to be jumping in right into the chart here. You can see here with AMC, the trading day just finished here. We're up about 15.5% here. It's still hovering above that $45 range where we called pretty much a pretty significant level of support. If we see that support give out at $45, that can easily come back down to 37 and even make its way below 30. So we're looking at those components. Looking at strictly at the Tastyworks the calls, and looking at on how these calls could have evaporated and how much they were worth during the day. So if we go back into the chart here, we go into basically, let's go into like a 15-minute chart here. You can really see AMC was pretty much stagnant, had a little bit of a boost. We call that like the 1230 kick in the butt here, and saw it pretty strong going into the end of the trading week for Friday. Even though the individual had, the only call that I can see on his the screenshot is the $45 call. Of course, coming into this previous morning, that 45 call was well out of the money here. The stock went all the way down to, what is this, like $42, and then made a pretty strong recovery here. So jumping into the trade here. So $45 call, again, he had 200 of these calls. Again, the current market was around $1.97. So we go into the view options mode, and we're going to be going into the 1 day for today. You can kind of see here that price where it was trading well below, again, looking here, it was basically, when he took the screenshot, the close of yesterday was around $1.97. Of course, coming into the move today, you saw that it, with that theta decay, deteriorated and all went down to nearly below 70 cents. Right. So again, this thing was pretty volatile. And then when that bid came in, that son of a gun jumped all the way up to 420, 428 multiple times, gave it right back, and then went to finish strong, well nearly into the 450 range. So this is how volatile these potentially things are. So then jumping in, that was the $45 call for expiring this week. Okay, wasn't so great with the 55 and of course the 50, because they closed out of the money. Not fun, right? So out of the money again, unless you're selling the premium on it, that's a way to play that. Looking here at the 55, so playing that again, that was that theta decay. That theta decay is that time decay with options closer it is to the expiration, the faster it deteriorates, much faster. We saw that really take in here, and of course, that 1230 bid really saved its cojones here. Again, that option was trading for about 45 cents as of his marker that day. This would have been his perfect opportunity to get out of those calls unless he was very hesitant or he wanted just to get a quick turnaround, because of course once that bid happened, it basically hit that 49-ish cents range, 50 cents range, but then kind of came right back because again that theta decay kicked in, and that the turbine of just slaughtering the delta or the price and the premium of that option just deteriorated into the close. And you can see that again once we go into, again, he had the $73 call. Again, this thing probably didn't see too much of a bid. Yeah. So this one, as of yesterday, was trading for around 18 cents that he had marked. It literally coming into the beginning of that trading day, it just deteriorated and never actually had any kind of bounce, any kind of substantial bounce here. It just continuously was going down because it was so far out of the money. It was very far deep out of the money. You see, there's a lot of volume in these stocks here, and again, a lot of open interest. So there's potentially people playing the premium play, people on just trying to catch a potential lottery ticket. It's a smorgasbord of activity going on there, but the main purpose, again, buying these very short dated calls. Again, this probably, if he played this one right, that could have paid off pretty substantially here. So if we go into the calculator mode, of course, he had 200 of those, and they closed for around, let's just say if he got it at the high at 450, 450. That's 900 times 100, because again, one call options is like, so $90,000 you could have potentially made from that previous if he played that well. Again, that's if he played his card super well and he played the bounce in any of these other various calls, he could have maybe made a potential profit. Maybe he had assigned the shares. So again, if you're assigned the shares, you better have a nice little chunk of cash, because you might get a margin call if you don't have that capital within that trading account. So looking here at the chart here in the short-term chart here, let's go jump into the hourly chart here. Again, that defined line is pretty dominant between that 45.61 to basically the 44.32 line. So that's what we're kind of looking at potentially being that short-term support, because again, volume has been coming down. A lot of people could have gotten shooken out as of today, because again, today was options expirations coming in next week, so we can kind of do a look at to what potentially we could see next week. You see a lot of volume was traded at that $60 strike price for AMC. You see the IV or the in volatility is at 309%. Of course, this is the short squeeze kind of scenario. So these options are very rich, and the expected move for next week is nearly $15. So if we kind of use that information, look at the chart here. So basically closed around, let's say $50. So if they're still expecting a move of $15 1 week from today, what does that put us at? That puts us around that $65 range. And we've seen that before. That's kind of like that little quick jolt up. So it's very, very important when you are trading these kind of memes or just kind of having these very fast moving stocks to be very mindful that they will jump up super fast. So it's very cautious and well advised to potentially put some orders for 20, 30, 40% of your positions at certain price targets. It's going to be very difficult to potentially try to categorize those, potentially at a 30 or 50% premium, potentially even double. So like 100% to 150% premium of what they're currently valued at. Because again, if that son of a gun jumps, it's going to really take the stock or the those options value substantially with it. So again, looking at that $60 call just for next week, again, that thing was traded 22,000 volume contracts today, okay? That's a lot. And you can see here, again, Tastyworks, if you're familiar with Tastyworks, I love the platform. If you're interested on opening a Tastyworks account and having 100 shares of a stock or 10 contracts, if you start funding an account of $2,000 or more, that affiliate link down below helps the channel greatly. So kind of just doing the basic breakdown of what the theta and delta is. So you see the theta is 48, so negative 48.69, always 69. That's been coming up quite a bit. So 48.69, basically, you can round up to 48.70. This is basically saying every single day, if the stock does nothing, you will lose basically $50 off of your call option a day. So this call is currently going for around 470 to 465. So basically 7 days from now, that theta decay is at 48. Let's just call it 50. That will continuously decay. At the same time, if there is that short squeeze mentality, if there's the funds, the larger investment and institutional and hedge funds are trying to short this continuously more, this could kind of create that squeeze momentum that everyone has been playing here in this particular AMC stock. And that can really make the stock run quite a bit here. So if we go into view the leg here, we'll see here on just the movement today, this thing got up to well over $5.25. Of course, we had that nice 12:30 Eastern Standard Time bid. That's basically the mid-afternoon lunchtime bid that some people always call for. And seeing it really kind of pop up here again, really playing this again. This is very difficult to catch these timings, but if you get a fantastic move like this is where you just take a couple chips off the table if you're trading it. If you really want to play the scenario out and just go for the lottery ticket, you're on your own territory there. But yeah, be very careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. AMC is no joke. This is a very aggressive moving stock, so be careful, be mindful out there. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video or next live stream. Peace.